This is something that some of you have heard. I did it at Ducky Waddle's open mic the other night, but some of you haven't heard this, so. Everybody knows who the Teletubbies are, don't you? Does everyone know who the Teletubbies are? Okay. This is called the final episode. Max Lawless, also known as Eve, the fifth Teletubby, scrubbed his face, sprayed Axe on all his sweaty places, and got dressed. Max was one pissed-off man. Anger had been building in him for months, cut from the TV series he had single-handedly created. He was drowning in murderous rage. The 9mm, comforting and accessible, hung in his shoulder holster under his black furry jumpsuit. The eared skull cap was warm and covered his balding, pointy head. Revenge. It was that single thought that preoccupied his every waking moment. He sat impatiently at the stoplight and revved the pickup's engine, anxious to get this thing done. At the 38th Street and East Hill Boulevard Starbucks, he found his quarry. That first-carrying motherfucker, Tinky Winky, and that bitch, Lala, were sitting there sipping their stupid lattes, surrounded by adoring toddlers and their clueless moms. He stopped, took aim through the passenger window. Bam! Tinky Winky bit the dust, jagged red hole in his forehead. Pow! Lala got it right through the jugular, fell face forward, gurgling and choking on her own blood. Satisfied, Max sped away, the screams and wailing subsiding behind him. Minutes later, at Twinksville Boulevard and Lovecraft Lane, right outside the Hopknot studio offices, he spied Dipsy. That son of a bitch was walking with Antoinette, Max's ex, that's right. Dipsy had stolen her away. In a terrible flash, Max remembered the infidelity, the fights, the traumatic breakup, the depression and the sadness. He took them both out while they crossed the intersection hand in hand. Now, only one left. Where was Poe? That bitch owed him big time. Max had loaned her a shitload of his money for her to invest. Poe turned around and blew it all, every dime on dope and boy toys. Max had a hunch. He drove down West East Hill Boulevard past all those crazy leaning buildings. There, near the last house on the right, prancing down the sidewalk in her high heels and red suit was that whore Poe. He stopped the truck, left the engine running, and ran up to her, weapon drawn, ignoring the people walking nearby. "Where's my money, bitch?" he yelled. Poe turned to face Max, stared down the barrel of his gun. No emotion showed on her face. "I've got it," she said. "I got your money right here." She reached coolly in her gold purse, pulled out a lethal-looking .44 Magnum, and fired 2 shots into Max's chest.
Perfect!
He crumbled slowly to the sidewalk, face frozen in shock and horror. With his last trembling breath, he raised his 9mm and fired. Poe slumped and fell. The sound of sirens grew louder. The PBS programming director called together his staff. "All right, people, this is the last episode. I want you to break up into focus groups. I'm looking for feedback. Any questions?"